Songdo, South Korea, which our intelligence has revealed to be the offshore center of U.S. surveillance. As the world looks on and complains, Russia acts. U.S. troops are already on site. Your job is to pry each objective from their control. We aren't equipped for a prolonged battle today, so victory will come from striking decisively. Out. Take the objectives and force the enemy to retreat. We will rout the Americans sector by sector.
Опасность на моей метке! Обнаружена угроза! Обнаружена опасность! Target down!
Our attack on Alpha 1 is underway.
This game comes on nerves.
The sector is now under our control. Engage them here. Secure the new sector. Следите за угрозой на моей метке.
Around 40 meters Tango down!
Damn.
Our forces are moving to attack Bravo 1.
About to you.
Отмечаю опасную местность.
Friendly, staging attack on Bravo 1.
Здесь опасно.
Эта местность опасна!
Bruh.
Обнаружена опасность. Возможная угроза для моей проблемы.
Random thought, but you know, shit's getting real when McDonald's is closing U.S. offices and having company restructures and doing a whole lot of firing and a whole lot of closing down of facilities. That's wild. It's like,
Обнаружена угроза в этом секторе.
you know, you really are seeing the collapse of just the dollar and a lot of things. Because obviously in finance, you know, the one thing you do learn is that it's a domino effect. The world, in a sense, does have a butterfly effect where one thing always affects the other. If a tire, the price of tires go up, that affects the price of rubber. That's the type of thing. It's a trickle down thing where everything affects one thing. You know, it's all connected. But either way, that just brings in the thing when, you know, the dollar was collapsing and now you're seeing classic companies collapsing. It's just it's interesting. You know, I'm pretty sure this will pass. I don't know when, but
Our troops are assaulting Bravo 1.
it's not gonna be a simple thing. I mean, you know, you're talking about we're past our debt limit. We owe, and the dollar is just losing value every day. But it's been losing value. It's just now it's just really the people can see it plummeting. It's something that's been happening since George Bush Jr. was in office. The dollar really was starting to lose its power. I think sometime after, yeah, probably Clinton left. I think all that, we had a great financial time of stability, maybe in the 90s and maybe the early 2000s. But yeah, due to a lot of crazy shit and housing crisis and stuff like that, like yeah, like
We are moving to attack Bravo.
wars. On top of that, we've been draining ourselves. Like we've been draining ourselves. So it's just interesting to see everything. I don't know what's gonna happen in the end, but it ain't gonna be the best thing right now. Sorry if I'm doing bad. This is way more of a backdrop to thoughts. You know, just chilling. Got work today.
We are initiating an attack on Bravo.
But that's wild. You know what leads up to that is the question. Like, I'm a guy who is a very curious person. And I always want to know what led to that. I mean, I can tell you that we should have had a stronger industry for ourselves. It's really sad that it's a rare thing to hear when something is American made. You know, it's kind of sad. We stripped ourselves of our own value for years. We boasted about how we take in everything from everywhere else, but I think this is a case of we neglected what we bring to the table. In the case of America, when you really look at it, we really haven't brought too much to the table significantly, really that important. I mean, we have, but we're just not the best as we think we are. We are 29th when it comes to like the rated countries. If you look at that, maybe even lower now because the dollar's going down. We're a country full of just confusion, unhealthiness. People are obese. You have a thing where you have this where the sexes are fragmented, and it just, yeah, it does fall apart when you look at us. And it was only a matter of time. That's how I look at it. You have, yeah, it's wild. I just wonder what the next thing is. You're gonna hear like all fast food just start collapsing. You know? All like them start closing down locations and talking about relocate to China or some shit. But even China's not doing that well. You know, their economy is suffering. Yeah, a lot of things suffer. When one global economy suffers, another one does. It's just how it works. We all going through it, really. That's how I look at it. So it's just, from a historical context, I mean, things happen like this. Will we be better people in the end? Will we come out of this? Maybe. I'm pretty sure we will, and if we don't, it's cool. Empires have crumbled before. It's not the end of the world. trying to think what else is fresh in my mind today.
Our attack on Bravo 1 is underway.
Why is he doing, bro? By the way, yes, I did smoke some animal cake before this video. For those who want to know what the animal cake is, it's a sativa dominant strain, but it's like a hybrid in a sense. It gives you full body relaxation to uplift your mood, makes you more social, a little more focused. Just chill. Very chill strain. It's like one of my favorite strains. It is high on the scale. I'm not gonna lie to you. It clocks in like a 31% THC. The one I'm smoking is made by Ozone. Fucking information. Yeah. This was definitely made by Ozone, so. It was actually harvested on my birthday. Believe it or not, 12/19. Okay, interesting. It's a resonating strain. So, pretty fresh. It's a pretty frosty flower. It's really good flour to wake and bake too. Especially if you need to get your hair right in the morning or whatever. I recommend that strain. Smoked it out, a nice chillum, little glass piece. Chillums are nice. I always love the designs, and I love seeing a little weed packed in, and I love seeing it burn. I love glass pieces and things we hidden. There's something about just burning it in glass. And some crack pipe, sing for crackish in it. It's cool. Glass is sexy. But either way, it's a really decent strain. I can't complain about it. This next strain I got over here, I need to freaking smoke. It's called Rollins. It's from Cresco. I think this thing is like. Yeah, this thing's like 24%, which is cool. 24% THC, I ain't even mad at that. Yeah. Damn, I just got killed. I don't care.
Our group strength is down to 50%.
Friendly staging
Looking
attack.
forward to the Rollins next. I be crossing up strains. I'm about to smoke a Cherry Springs like in a second, literally. Just about to sit and smoke this Cherry Springs. So you just about to watch me just die continuously, but I'll be smoking. That's why. Just trying to give you context. Away from control. Smoking. Oh! Wait. Oh shit, I'm tweaking.
Не нравится мне это.
Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you. This is a strong ass strain. If you a beginner, I would not recommend this to those beginner smokers. Like this some strong ass shit. Yeah.
Push the hostiles away from
There are
you.
strains that can
Sector secure.
get your ass. If you're not ready for it. So, but this is really nice one. This shit is so nice. It's so good. Full massage. Good with pain too, by the way. If you're ever in pain, man, this is I'm not in pain, but it made me wish I was in pain. This shit hit even more. Oh no, anyway, that's a little dark. I promise you, most days I just sit here.
Low tango.
My job feels surreal. And not for the reason like people even think, like, that's the funniest part. Yeah, besides drugs. I guess it's because of this. The respect. It's for me. Wait, oh, this. Damn, tweaking. But it is overwhelming with the weed. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, I get weed every weekend. Get bags. Different things. It's like it's such a like a huge departure in my mind, because a year ago I was scrounging around for nuggets. I was like, oh man, I need some weed. I'm looking for the smallest nugs I can find sometimes.
U.S. forces are in disarray.
It's crazy. It's now. It's everywhere. I'm surrounded by it. I work in it, go home to it every day now. Even when I'm on the street, I run into it. I mean, the other day, like, I just went to go get some lunch. Some guys needed a lighter. They was on, some guys on a bike, riding some bicycles, not bicycles, motorcycles. Yeah, they were riding some motorcycles. Need a lighter, but offered them some shit. They was out there. So shit, let me get some of that. Get some of that blunt too, like that shit. It's everywhere now. It's just it's like wow. It's like I couldn't. I was looking for it. Now it's all in my face. Like now it's like it literally has become the world. It just is become the world. It has become my world. That's wild. But at the same time, I'm grateful and everything. I don't,
Taking too many casualties.
and I do love weed, but I don't think it is the fixer of mankind. as everybody does. I think it's good. Just for you to chill out and you're in pain or whatever. But I don't think it's the ultimate solution. I mean, those things are more internal, and I think they deal with knowledge and everything. The real solutions to human problems. That's my thing. I love it. Don't think I'm sitting up and thinking they can solve all my problems. Case in point, I don't even like doing any drugs when I'm in a bad mood because it's only just going to like enhance that. It's only gonna like let all of those thoughts like even out even stronger. Whatever. I don't know. I guess what I'm saying is I don't use drugs for escapism. And I understand we want to escape, but I don't think you should use this to escape from reality. I view it as something when I deal with weed. This is just how I deal with in my daily, comings and goings of how I deal with reality. But I can't escape reality. I'll put it, for instance, I have a real bad temper. Not a bad, maybe I just get real annoyed and real angry very easily. So
Secure the last sector.
if I'm on some sweet, I'm good. I'm not escaping from anything. I'm able to do my work. I'm able to, more context. I've worked customer service, and I've also been sales. I've been for over 10 years. So I've heard the dumbest shit and had to deal with some of the craziest issues known to man. People not knowing how to buy ringtones, like just ringtones on the phone. We took out 10 cent extra or a dime extra or $1 extra, and they think they were robbing them. Yes, I've had calls like that, and just sales things. I'm not buying this phone because it does not have the color emojis that I want. The emojis ain't on point. Like the colors are not on point. I'm not gonna get this phone because of that. The camera's amazing. It business wise, it covers everything I need. But I'm not getting it because these emojis are just not adding up. So yeah, I've dealt with a lot. And then angry customer, I needed to calm down and not just be in that mood ready to snap. Niggas be mad at each other. I'd be cool at my job. I mean, not much like that. But that's what I need for. But I need that for like almost everything because it's kind of an outside thing too. Because when you go outside, it's not going to stop.
All sectors secure. U.S. forces retreating.
The second that I leave my room and go out my door and go out into thy world, I'm going to be hit with some dumb shit just like anybody else. And in order for me to get through life, especially as a black dude, I'd be paranoid some days. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not paranoid because of the weed, nigga. I'm paranoid just because I'm a black dude. That's kind of it. It's like an intrinsic paranoia. It has nothing to do with the weed, nigga. I need that shit to calm that down, like that existential paranoia. The am I gonna get shot for being me today type shit. To calm down those anxieties and shit. Also, you could call it PTSD in a way. I don't know. I always tell people. Back in college, a guy used to joke. He used to tell me I was from Oak Park. Oak Park is one of the richest neighborhoods in Chicago, where I'm from. And I just used to tell him, like, bro, I wish I was from Oak Park. Shit. I mean, he said I was from Oak Park because I spoke proper. I hate when people do that. That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life. You speak proper. But either way, I mean, that's neither here nor there, but I don't like hearing shit like that.
Looks like the wait's over.
But yeah, I remember that. Call me Oak Park because I spoke correctly. But no, buddy, I live in the hood, unfortunately. I grew up around 79th and 50th and 55th, so I'm kind of been in the bullshit for a long time, my buddy. I only lived in the suburbs one time in my life, like as far as growing up, so. And that was short-lived. I was right back in the trenches. Right back in the hole. So, let me tell you something. Growing up in the ghettos of Chicago or the hood of Chicago is entirely... It's not like growing up in the suburbs of Chicago, to say that. It's not like growing up in a downtown Chicago. It's not like growing up in the north side of Chicago. I could definitely say that. And obviously, it's probably more of a close experience than growing up on the west side. Usually, it's the south side and the west side. The more highly populated areas that are black. But man, it could be worse. But when it comes to opportunities and when it feels like you're trying to branch out or really understand the world, it can be hard for black youth. It took me leaving this place to understand this place a lot more. It took me leaving this. I lived in Ohio for 10 years. It took me leaving Chicago to appreciate it more. But now, I can appreciate it as an adult. I love the city, but the city's got its problems, and that's why I got Animal Cake. See, Animal Cake helps me deal with those problems. We got issues like mental health. All the mental health facilities have been closed, so a lot of patients roam the streets. They take public transport everywhere, and then amongst also just a lot of homeless, just a lot of stuff. That's just some things. I mean, I see these things because I commute. So sometimes I do think that if you can, and if it's possible, you should commute every once in a while to work. I don't know. It helps you not become so detached from the world. Cars are great, and I love cars, but it only adds to the alienation and the further, I guess, being more or less social in a sense, or the more just less or more taking in the life, taking in what's going on with it. Sometimes you're in your car, you can you're so focused on getting to your destination, you don't notice anything around you. You don't notice probably the buildings that they've been building up. You probably don't notice the new shop that's over there. You don't notice the shop that's not over there anymore. Maybe you don't notice that. Maybe you do, but it's a high chance you probably don't. Usually, because as human beings, we're very limited in our capacity unless we train ourselves to pay attention to more things. It's neither here nor there. But yeah, um, that's a thing. Guy's about to smoke his cherry springs though. It's cherry springs. I think I already talked about it once again. It's Florida oranges and pink lemonade. Is such a smooth strain. But yeah, back to what I was saying. The hood is treacherous. Hood is treacherous. Yeah. Yeah. That's why I smoke, man. It's a lot. It's a lot. So I rarely ever get like high. Just mostly get chilled out. And it's good to have before a meal or whatever. Let's see. Today, what is today? I don't even know what days it is. But I look up Monday. Monday, which is today, ironically, is my Friday. So I'm excited. Today's Monday, tomorrow's Friday. Okay. That's what's up. I'm off the next 2 days. I'm feeling. Man. Let's see what's going on in the world of hip hop. The BBC World News. I'll light up this little J. I promise you it's fun. Wake up in the morning, light up, and read the news. It's fun. It's like real nerdy-ish, but I promise you'll thank me. I promise you will. Oh, well, damn. Some shit happening in Ukraine. What? Well, and the first thing for what is the world doing today? The bear meat vending machine is a first for Japan. I don't even know how I feel about that. You know what? That's where you light up on that one. That's my shit. I gotta light up. That's crazy. If there's ever a country that just does what the hell they want to do, it has been be on some other shit. It's definitely Japan. They definitely be on some other shit. I can't even tell you that no one, and I mean no one, was ever going to predict that there ever would ever been a bear meat vending machine. Now we're in the future. Wait, they also have snails in the can and whale meat, and also edible insects. Different cuts of local black. That's great. Customers can buy fatty, lean meat for about 2,200 yen. 250 reports. Asiatic black bears are classed as international vulnerable Japan. So limit numbers that can be hunted. Okay. I mean, damn, you can get anything in a vending machine now, literally. It's like, literally, what can't you get? Yeah, that's pretty wild. So, they serve black bear and some whale meat and some other stuff. So, I guess if you are ever in that mode, if you ever on demon time and you feel like you need something more, hey, you can always go to Senboku, Akita Prefecture. You know, apparently they selling now. They sell 10 to 15 packs a week of meat from bears killed in the nearby mountains by local hunters. It runs out of stock at the hunting season, so they be eating that. Sheesh. Convenient. Like, that's so wild. I love reading it. It just, I don't know. It just it broadens your perspective. It broadens, it helps you understand what's going on. Let's see. So oil prices surge after surprising them to cut output. Damn. The price of Brent crude oil is trading above 84 a barrel after jumping, but more shit. Ooh, gas is high. Now we're at that barrel, I know gas is high. Shit. I don't know what they're gonna do about this energy crisis, but I get why people. I get it. I get why people drive Teslas, but I get it. Like, at some point, we gotta just be honest with ourselves and realize that we not helping with these fossil fuels. I don't know. I'm not the biggest tree hugger in the world, but I do recognize that there's a lot of things happening in nature that don't seem like they used to, and I know things are changing, not for the best in nature. You got ice sheets melting, you got temperatures rising higher than they're supposed to. You have just a lot of things are happening, a shift is happening. But yeah, it would be nice if we could get into those solutions. And, well, I'm saying is I see the case for a Tesla now. What else did we see? World. Look at that. Did Chatbot got a therapist? The striking difference between French and American attitudes toward sex.
Netflix latest show from the creators of Sex and the City, Emily in Paris, is proof that American cliches on French people live strong. We're sex obsessed and have a lot of it. We're chic and romantic, yet we're frivolous and likely accept a sex opportunity when one presents itself. Beyond the stereotypes, it's true that compared to Americans, we don't really care what our presidents do outside their marriage. And yes, we have billboards on the train advertising for dating apps, allowing for adulterous encounters. I once spoke to an American who told me she was kind of unsettled when she saw statues of naked women in Paris. Cover this breast, which I cannot behold, said a character from a 17th century comedy by French playwright Molière. The play makes fun of an attitude that is virtuous only on the surface. I think about the US and I wonder, what is the difference between truth and appearances? And precisely, are Americans really that awkward about sex?
Are Americans awkward about sex?
There is definitely an element of shyness and awkwardness.
I think I'm just going to go ahead and say, yes, it's a secret that's kept from you.
First time I talked about sex with my parents was probably not until like late in high school. I was leaving for college and they bought me a box of condoms and left it at that. And it was a very awkward, strange moment.
Besides different parental behaviors, official sex education in public schools is a matter decided by states and individual jurisdictions. For a lot of people, it looks like this.
Here's how you put a condom on a banana thing.
I think we used some kind of fruit or vegetable or something.
Surprisingly, I relate to associating a banana with a penis since childhood, even though it's not a thing in France. And I learned about contraception with a good old biology textbook. In the meantime, sex education in the American public schools vary widely. According to pro-choice researchers in the Gut Nature Institute, 29 states require sex education to stress abstinence, and 19 states require instruction on the importance of engaging in sexual activities only within marriage. Whether sex is taught not to be had, or associated with shame and risk, it is more rarely seen through the lens of banality or pleasure.
Part of it has to do with some, holdover of these kind of very Puritan values, right, that are all the way at the start of the formation of this country.
What's commonly called American Puritanism roots back to the settlers who, in the 17th century, came to America to found their ideal society in the New World. Anxious to build a culture that would outperform their English persecutors, Puritans created a world filled with religion and intolerance for deviants. Sex outside of marriage, adultery, and other digressions were severely punished.
People still pass down from generation to generation what they learned, and unless people are consciously trying to change it, they just kind of go along with what they were taught.
And like that, a certain restrictive mentality still outlived the Puritans in some parts of the U.S.
They actually had us sign these contracts saying that we would wait until marriage. In exchange, they would give us a little lifesaver candy.
Abstinence-only education, but with a pop culture flavor.
I remember them trying to make the class seem like fun and lighthearted, so they would play that Sierra song at the beginning of the class to like hype us up, and it's like, looking for the goodies, keep on looking, 'cause they stay in the jar.
And this is the beauty of the American paradox. Growing up, I often got the feeling that anything considered sexual and provocative was coming from American pop culture. I remember Britney and Madonna's legendary kiss and Janet Jackson's great boob reveal on live TV. Popular rap and R&B tunes would be all about licking lollipops in haunted-style candy shops. Older well-known classics weren't necessarily what I discovered with breaking Parental Control and watching Basic Instinct with my brothers. And of course, there's straight-up pornography. So how do you explain the dichotomy?
Maybe, sex in our pop culture kind of fills this void that is created through our lack of conversations around sex, and it kind of serves as substitution for it, which is not a healthy thing.
Pop culture does reflect aspects of contemporary sexual behaviors and the progressive liberation of American habits. But simultaneously, it also provides scripts for becoming adults.
We're all watching these like high school shows and with these actors that are having sex. So there's this thought too that we should be having sex in high school.
From codes to be attractive to implicit rules about dating, Americans tend to turn everything sex-related into a verbal maze, whether it's vocally stressing some pronounced, the talk, the thing, to PDA, FWB, sex on the third date. Some are so confusing, Americans themselves don't agree.
You need a freaking dictionary to be an American referencing our sex lives.
If you ever want to start a big debate at an American party, you should ask people, what is first base, what is second base, and what is third base, because everybody has a different answer.
To this day, I'm not sure I know what second base is.
You lost track? That's precisely the point. With shyness around sex comes a lot of unspoken rules.
How can you not think that something is to be ashamed of or not okay to talk about when someone won't even say the word?
Yep.
Anything that's coded to me means that you're not having a real conversation and you're not really getting to the root of what you need to be comfortable and safe and also have an enjoyable experience, right?
But for others, these rules are helpful.
They offer sort of a crutch, they give you a guideline, and so it makes something that can be sort of hard for us actually a little bit easier.
For many Americans, especially in college, engaging in the hookup culture is a way to escape this coded universe. Until having casual sex also became a rule to follow.
My friends and I all sort of have a common understanding of the idea of like a hoe phase or a slut period. You sleep around and you have sex casually and you sort of come to terms with what you like and what you don't like.
It was accepted, acceptable, almost expected. But even then, people didn't really know what they were doing or what they wanted to be doing. I decided that I didn't really like it, so I ended up stopping, taking some time to figure out what I really wanted.
According to researchers, the rise of hookup culture is one of the reasons women are having less sex, fearing the risk of an assault. And then there was Me Too, the moment where victims of sexual assault started to speak up, where words were liberated and listened to. It also allowed for the recognition that one can simply refuse a sexual encounter.
It gave us this new way to discuss sex, this new way to discuss, granted, a negative version of sex, but it gave us this new opportunity to be heard and to express ourselves.
Today, pop culture also allows for more diverse conversations around sex. 50 Shades of Grey brought kink and BDSM into the mainstream, and more recently, Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, two black women, firmly asserted their sexual desires with their tune WAP. In France, we raise a jeering eyebrow at this American newfound enthusiasm for consent. We view it as yet another version of Puritanism. But what if words as simple as yes or no were the beginning of a new conversation around sex? What if the ability to choose was the real freedom, and Americans, the new libertines?
The American Laundromat is an icon, so romantic, described by the likes of Lucia Berlin and Joan Didion. It's so cinematographic that at the start it's almost fun for a European to make a weekly trip into the laundromat and get the perfect cube of clothes back. It feels like a movie. Still, when you talk to people at home, they always find it odd.
This summer, the Golden State turned apocalyptic.
A whole convoy of cars like speeding. These are twisty down the road, flashing their light, honking and like waving to go back.
Asha and her friends had a narrow escape from the California wildfires.
The smoke has followed us over the ridge, but we're almost out.
They were lucky to have returned safely after walking 30 miles in flood. But some were left with a permanent scar.
By the time I got there, it was little more than smoldering rubble.
Karen, a local journalist in Berry Creek, had to cover her father's store burning down.
But it was only the second time I had ever heard him cry before. I did not think he would be able to handle it quite as well as he's able to handle most of life's obstacles.
Wildfires are not new to California. Why is this year unprecedented?
You know, it is about forest management. Please remember the words, very simple. Forest management.
But is it just about managing the forests? Native Americans have always harnessed fires to keep forests strong. A healthy fire takes out weak and dead trees and returns nutrients to the soil. But a century of misguided fire suppression policy in the U.S. means dry fuel has been piling on.
What we end up with are 90 years of buildup, and on top of climate change that is now catalyzing this process, they are creating a tinderbox. And we're seeing actually different climate change domino chains happening all at the same time in California. We had one of the longest droughts. This caused a massive tree mortality throughout the state. At the same time, we're having unprecedented heat waves. Those heat waves then caused lightning strikes. We had over 14,000 lightning strikes in 24 hours that ignited 900 fires.
Now we're only at the start of the fire season, and Californians face a long-term impact.
Now that the state has rebounded from the second spike of COVID, we are now facing this abysmal air quality issue that will impact our state's economy, workers, folks that are unemployed.
On top of the pandemic, everybody's emotional health is so low, and finally the thought crossed my mind and my husband's mind, is this really sustainable long term?
Like many Californians, Carrie and her family are fearful for the future.
2 years ago, I thought that this is the one time I'll ever have to cover anything this tragic. And here I am now, and I'm feeling it a lot more personally because my family has been directly affected by this fire.
But not everyone can afford to leave.
Not everyone can uproot. They may have lost their homes, but they still the place where they're earning an income to be able to support themselves and potentially those they love.
Yeah. Californians is wilding, is going through it, their weathers, and Americans don't want to talk about sex. These niggas come from some crazy ass backgrounds where none of us really talk about sex. So there's that. Yeah, I'm ended off on there because I need to get me something to eat. But other than that, I noticed there's been a lot of different things, but this is my morning. Yeah, so either way, Yeah, we're good though. I need to make a video about this damn tank fight. Ryan Garcia fight, low key. I'll get in that. Oh, have a great day. And I'll see you later. Bye.